Hello everybody and welcome to today's Destiny video. So today I'm going to be talking all about the Golgoroth fight, and more specifically I'm going to be talking about the gaze holder, not the actual people doing damage. However, I will quickly go over the basics of the fight, or at least how my group usually do the fight. We actually usually do this fight this way because it's just simpler, it's harder to fail, and it's easier for the people who don't quite know the mechanics of the fight yet. So let's get right into this. So the basics of the fight are Golgoroth is one big scary ogre in the middle of the room. He has 6 orbs all around him that spawn after all the mobs are dead. You shoot down one of these orbs and it gives a little puddle on the floor which gives you a buff. For anybody who stands inside the buff, you can do extreme damage to Golgoroth, and that is how you take him down. There is a catch though. There is actually somebody who needs to keep his attention at all times, and this guy is called the gaze holder. If you shoot him in the back, you will get Golgoroth's gaze and he will focus his rage on you. When this happens, he'll be firing little orbs at you, and you don't want to be hit by these little orbs. Now, the gaze holder will be calling out how long he has got left. In the bottom left corner of the screen, there's a little counter, and he'll be telling his teammates how long he's got left. As soon as it hits 1, he will tell his teammates to jump out as quickly as possible, so that Golgoroth doesn't kill them, because he will fail to gain his gaze. Now, the actual, quote, legitimate way of doing this would be to have 2 gaze holders on each side of a room, swapping gaze every now and again, just to make sure that the gaze never fails, and then the orbs can be shot down over and over again, and because there is 6 orbs, not 1. You can keep shooting down all the orbs, and then you can do stupid damage to him. However, as I've already said, the way we do it is we just do 1 orb, we take him down, we do loads of damage, everyone jumps out, and we rinse and repeat. This way it's safer, you won't get deaths as often, and the curse thralls become less of a problem because you can just throw grenades in and kill the curse thralls while you are out of the pit. So I've seen a lot of different tactics on Reddit and other forums about how you should play the gaze holder and what weapons you should use doing this role. A lot of these seem good on the surface, but I am going to debunk a couple of them right now. So I've seen a lot that people should be using a sword, and you should just block all of the Golgoroth orbs. I tried this and it doesn't quite work as you would expect. The orbs still pop, yes, but you don't get the damage from the actual orbs themselves, but you do get the effect of the orb. Now, the effect of the orb actually ticks down your health like poison, and enough of these stacking on top of each other will kill you pretty quick. So you don't want this to happen at any point of the fight. It happened to me. I didn't actually die, I don't think. You can actually see in the footage right now behind my talking. If I died, I cannot see the footage right now, but either way, you'll find out. So the next one I've seen a lot of is Shade Step. You should always have a hunter who can Shade Step. Now, I haven't actually used this tactic because I completely forgot to use it while I was doing it, but after doing some thinking, this is also just as silly as using the sword, because you will still get a hit by at least one of them. You will not get all of them because Shade Step does have a cooldown and he does keep firing those little orbs. If just one of them hits you, you're already in danger. You want to avoid getting damaged at all costs. If you can just completely avoid getting damaged by those little orbs, the better your fight will become and the longer you will live for. Now, there is a couple of ways to do this without dying. The first being using Red Death. Now, Red Death is actually really good for this fight. It's not the best, but we'll get to that in a minute. Red Death is really good for the orbs because even if you get hit by one, if you shoot one of the other ones, you'll just regain your health. So it's really good for just keeping your health up. If you're new to the game, you shouldn't really be doing gaze if you're new to the game, but everyone really should learn every single role in a raid, especially with hard mode around the corner. Red Death is okay for this fight. However, the actual initial impact it does on Golgoroth's back isn't that much, so you'll find it quite difficult to actually get the gaze without him just turning around to you instead of just getting the gaze. And if he's looking at you, you're not going to be able to get the gaze because you can't actually shoot his back very easily. You need somebody to be getting his attention on the other side of a room so you can shoot his back. That's not really doable with the Red Death because it's got really low impact, and if you shoot him too much, he will just turn around and just blast you with his little death ray, and you will not gain the gaze and you will wipe the team. You don't want that to happen. So what I would suggest is using something with a little bit more impact, that being the Soros. Yes, the Soros. Now, I really like using the Soros, and I actually know a couple of people who use the Soros a lot as well for this fight. The Soros is really, really good because it still gives you that benefit of gaining some health from orbs. Yes, it's not every single one, it just gives a chance of giving you life back. But it's got really good impact, and it's got constant fire rate rather than a pulse rifle. You're just wasting loads of bullets with a pulse rifle. You can literally just fire one shot, one shot, one shot, just kill the orbs, just aim it straight at Golgoroth's little chin, and you'll just get all the orbs, and there's no worries at all. And you can easily get the gaze as well, because the damage from the Soros is good enough to get his gaze without much of a problem. Now, I do want to quickly touch on the Touch of Malice. I've seen a lot of people use the Touch of Malice while they're trying to get the gaze. Don't. Please don't use the Touch of Malice when you're trying to get the gaze. You want to keep your life. If you've only got 11 shots, if you fuck up, you're just going to kill yourself. If you're really low on health and then you suddenly just decide to shoot an orb when you're really low on health, and then another orb just decides to hit you right afterwards, you've just fucked up. Like, you've just mega fucked up. Because now you're dead, and your team are just sat down in that pit with no gaze, and they're just going to die. Altogether, just die. You don't want to die as gaze holder. You need to be the guy that just doesn't die. Okay, so I've gone over all of the guns which are even, like, usable for this. There are obviously other guns and some legendaries which are really good for it. Just scout rifles are good in general. Low rate of fire auto rifles are really good. Pulse rifles are okay, but I would suggest using the other ones that I just said. Using a sniper's okay if you can switch quick enough. And a heavy machine gun is really good for this as well. Now, the single gaze method that I've just talked about, a lot of people think it's a cheese, and I am here to disagree with that. I do not think it's a cheese. I have never thought it is a cheese, and when I first heard people calling it a cheese or a cheaty method, I was a little bit offended because I don't think it's cheaty at all. If anything, it takes around the same time. There's still a bit of danger. It's obviously for people who are new to the game. In a more advanced group, you would be doing the 2-gaze method because it's just quicker. It's more efficient damage. The only advantage to doing single gaze, single orb is that you've got less chance of dying, and the gaze is on one guy, so it's only one guy's responsibility to fuck up, rather than 2 guys and then not getting enough damage in the pit. So at the end of the day, it's pretty much equal. That's why I don't really consider it a cheese. Now, a little disclaimer before I end this video. This is a guide, or not even a guide, but an advice video for normal mode. Hard mode comes out very soon. Hard mode could change this strategy completely, and we don't know what's actually going to happen with hard mode, whether it's just going to make it like you can't die, or if you can't actually cheese it. Like, if you fail to get his gaze, maybe the tablet will go up a peg. And if that happens, then you can pretty much ignore the first bit of this video and just use the weapon bit as advice. But either way, if you did enjoy this video and you found it helpful at all, please do leave a like below, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Goodbye, Guardians.